Our intern? How can it start without us? We are the main attraction. We are? Don't be immoral. You know we have been invited to Austin to discuss the script format. Okay, don't be panic. Don't panic. Wait an hour early, we should rehearse. Okay, you start. Margins. Depth 1.5 inches, right 1.0 inches, top 1 inches. To the body 0.5 to the member. Bottom 0.5 to 1.5 inches, depending on where the package breakdowns. Package breaks right about you. There are rules from Breaking Bad. Since how the reminder tank to squishing, a single line of dialogue is pushed to the following pages. A long dialogue passage will be displayed. But I will get to that later. What about fonts? Curio, 12 points, 10 pitches. Make sure it's a proportional version of Cursor. What about the boldface or italics? Oligarchic fonts? I love the jigs of my script. No bold, no ducks, no script fonts, and no dialect. No heavy tear. No time Romans, stick with cautious. There's an industrial standard. Oh, we're talking about industrial standards. April, come on. There's no one here. A thing's handing. A slunk line, and I was taught in film school. Always kept it. What happened if we... How do that? There's a cart from the hallway to the Capitol. What's he want to do? Drive the cab? Title mergers. Depth 3 inches, right 2.5 inches. Of course you can cheat those and tag. So you have about 3 inches for each line of your dialogue. You got it. You can go another 3 or 4 in space to the right, or no one will hold you against you. Now the position of the character's name, all caps, and take to about 2.2 inches. Some writers centers all the characters' names. Personally, I don't think it matters. The look of screen page is slightly different in either case. Hey, what happened? A page breaks appears in the middle of my dialogue. You move the buttons of the page to show that the character's dialogue continues onto the next pages. The count next to the character to show that is rules in the previous page. But not everyone uses Morse and can't do that. Some writers just plan their pages and so as to avoid it. What about the parents list go? Starting about 0.5 inches to the depth of the character's name tip mark. In our case, there will be about 3.7 inches. And what are they for? For years. Parenthetical was used to trace emotion, the manner in which a character spoke their lines, loudly, passionately, sadly, and so on. And recent years writers have often used it for brief piece of action. Something like that, exactly. How wide are the parenthetical? Not really, it's about 1.5 inches, and they should work to follow lines and extend beyond the point. If you place a parenthetical in the middle of the dialogue passage, it should remain distinct from the dialogue. I have to ask what happened to cut 2 dots between scenes. Many writers still use a transition such as cut 2 and dissolve 2 between scenes. They will introduce a new scene header and typically a different tone and slash or place. But many writers still spend with such transition, feeling that a new scene's header significantly cut without the need of any additional indicators. How do we reach the Mississippi and when the sunset? If you would. Is this a flashback? Or it could be tomorrow or next week. You see, a few weeks had passed. Okay, I didn't notice. But thought one day, only days and nights were allowed on 6 headers. Production managers will certainly prefer it that way, but many writers use header as a means of showing particular time of day, especially sunrise and sunset. So that's a no. Writer's drift, without doubt, writer's drift. Essentially, the drift has been paid for, and the drift be sent to an agent studio, excess production companies, develop people, their writer's drift, and they all should be first draft, no matter how many versions that writer has actually written. You really think so? That's my recommendation. You speak any foreign languages? What do you say, Oscar? Qu'est-ce que vous faites? What about action scenes? That's one way to do an action scenes. There's a variations on the Bill Goldman style that's used by many writers. Many do. But other writers just use normal description and standard scenes here for the action scenes, don't they? Many do. I thought we were walking together. Well, we were, but I realized a phone call was needed. Your features. Only when you hear my voice over the phone, radio voice, and the phone call often are featured. Plot is conventional that is used by anyone anymore. Let's try something easy. What about page numbers? Number each in number page law, you can start with page 2. The number should appear in the upper right hand corner about 0.5 inches, that 5 point down to that 75 inches from the right page edges. Those dimensions are not set in stone, but a number should always be placed in the right upper right hand corner. You know that pronouncement always thinks it. God, I probably have spoken the voice over and on over phone. That's what we all use for. Oftentimes for narration, for narrate voice in the film nor the protagonists is often fixed with things, and the assault or story document fixed with the voice over. Why did I just demonstrating the many writers break the decretion into the shorter paragraphs? I've seen block the decretion a convergent entire pages. And then before dot reading, don't it? I know studio readers who just skip the long description and read only dialogue. But there are poets who write scripts with extended scripted passage. When you make half millions or prosaic screen, you can pretty choose any form you want. But when you ask me, you have to stick to the format. That's not what you're trying to say. That's a story. By the way, the first time you introduce a character in the description, you kept his name. If you break dialogue with the description, the standard is to pressing continues with the parenthesis when a character sound unknown. Of course, many writer has dropped the continue from the repertoires. I mean, obviously that I'm still speaking is in, and that I never stop speaking. Hey neighbor, come on. There's a barbecue set at the governor's mansion, and the doctor leaves in 2 minutes. I haven't mentioned monster scenes. That one I know. No curses, no white shot, no shots of any sort. Just scenes handles, description and dialogues. And no six numbers. They are left to shooting scripts. Don't worry, I'll never let you miss a day.